All right, everyone. Good morning. Happy Sunday morning. It is a very happy Sunday morning because yesterday was a pretty fun Saturday. Celtic got the job done, 4-1 against Hearts. We're going to chat about it all, and we've got Stevie on. Hello, Stevie.
Hello, Saturday night, indoors, drinking tea, Hamish. It's changed days for me. I truly am old and past it these days. But thankfully, Celtic aren't.
Yeah, great, wasn't it? I mean, second half was just fabulous. Brilliant second half performance. I enjoyed every minute of that second half, Stevie.
Aye, the second half was way more interesting than the first, definitely. Can we just get that negative just out of the way there? I mean, the first half was definitely one of the worst games of football I've seen.
I just need to say, Stevie, are you just going to brush over the fact that you fell asleep at half time and missed the first 5 minutes of the second half? Are you going to mention that to the viewers?
It's just pure politician stuff for me here, just actually trying to forget that it happened and just talking about other things. The first half was was such a shocker that I did genuinely KO for the analysis for Sky. Fell asleep, and then next minute my phone was going when it was Rizzo actually saying what a chance for the hash. I think Craig Gordon saved it, and I'm just like, save? And so I woke up at 52 minutes, but hey, I didn't miss anything, did I? And thankfully I stayed awake for Celtic's 4 goals, Hamish. Don't worry about that.
Well, you missed the first 5 minutes of the second half. I missed the first 10 or 15 minutes of the first half because after talking for the last 2 weeks about how good a kick-off time it was for me, I woke up about 7 a.m. here and it was a 6:45 kick-off. But I gather that I missed nothing from the first 15 minutes. In fact, to be honest, the first half was we just weren't at it. I mean, we were quite sloppy at that stage, and Hatate was giving the ball away, McGregor was giving the ball away. It was I don't think Hearts dominated or anything like that. I don't think Hearts had many real chances. They had one shot for Forest. It was a really good block from, I think, Carter Vickers. But I don't know, I always felt we'd step it up in the second half. Second half performance was magic. Talk about Reo Hatate. Wasn't great in the first half. I thought he was majestic in the second half. Played the full match again, didn't he? McGregor was great in the second half, and Nicholas Kuhn and Kyogo get their goals. Second half performance was fabulous. I'm a little bit all over the place today, everyone. So Stevie's going to sort this out. It was great in the second half, wasn't it?
Not sorting anything out, mate. I'm relying on you to carry me here. But no, the second half was far better. That was more like the Celtic we've been seeing this season. So fluid, so decisive, and so ruthless as well. And that's what we've come to expect for the Celtic side. And, it was a wee bit like the game we saw in September. I remember coming back for an international break the last time. After beating the Rangers, swatting them aside 3-0, and we're looking forward to playing Hearts. Come to Celtic Park, and the first half was a real slog. We created next to nothing, and it wasn't panic stations, but you were like, what's going on here? There's no identity, and they've lost their rhythm. And then the second half, they kind of got there, but they needed a penalty just to sort of get us on the groove again. Didn't need that today because got a bit of good fortune with a goal for the Hashi, but see when we made it 1-0, didn't look back. I think the team really stepped up, and I think that was a real one for Hearts because you could tell they were just dying to stay in that game. The longer it became 0-0, getting a chance out, a set piece, a half chance, anything at all. But that goal really floored them, and there was just no doubt after that we were going to go on and score another. We did, and I think that's all the Celtic side needed, just to get that one out of the way. Good time to score in the second half, and when we did, as I say, didn't look back, and the players really sort of went up several levels and totally deflated Hearts with a quick second. Brilliant performance in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Hearts were decent enough, and up until our goal, they were winning a lot of 50-50s, and Tynecastle can be a tough place to go when they're like that. One point I did just want to make, and we can return to the actual football, but I know you were commenting on the scary Tynecastle atmosphere that is often talked about, but I thought even at 0-0 tonight, it was it was not a massively hostile place for us to go. And I didn't expect that. I thought on a Saturday night, first game back after the break, Hearts at home to Celtic, I thought the atmosphere would be a lot better than that. Is that just we talk about maybe the Celtic Rangers games being diluted a little bit with the kind of lack of away fans or whatever? Is it similar, do you think, with Hearts and Celtic now? In the old days when we would get that whole, I think the Roseburn stand it's called, the atmosphere would be amazing in those games. I remember night games under Neil Lennon, it was incredible. And it just, the game doesn't seem to have that atmosphere anymore.
Well, there's only one team to blame for that. Hearts shot themselves in the foot.
Rangers.
Because, well, pretty much all these teams in Scottish football just being juvenile and thinking, no, what we're going to do is just cut tickets. Because no one wins out. Well, Celtic won the night, but nobody wins out. It's a spectacle. If you're tuning into that as a neutral, you're looking Scottish football, Saturday night TV, I'll flick it on. The crowd was pathetic.
Many empty seats as well, wasn't there?
They're a joke, absolute joke. They get nobody to blame for that but ourselves. That Tynecastle's a real hostile, intimidating place to go. I think it's changed days for that. Okay, they got their win last season against us. It was a bit in controversial circumstances, but the game before that, we gave them 4-1. Same again tonight. Just complete and utter dominance. But as you say, it was a joke for Hearts, and this ticket fiasco has a big part of that, because you remember, you look at the game in the Scottish Cup when we won under Ange second season, Aaron Moy scored after 2 minutes. Don't get me wrong, we killed the game in the first first 5 minutes really, but the atmosphere was electric. You could tell that even tuning into it was a right good spectacle, and even Hearts, to their credit, I mean, it was a full support at Tynecastle. You can tell they are where they are tonight because their fans weren't even bothered for it. They probably knew going into it that they were on a hide into nothing, but I mean, you can at least turn up, support your team, and it's a joke. It really is. But as I keep saying, only them to blame for that. Celtic can't do anything about it but turn up and win, and they did, Hamish.
I thought the Celtic end made a hell of a lot of noise for only being 400, 500 of them. I thought you could hear them loud and clear on the telly at various stages. So yeah, I mean, I think getting the opening goal was pretty vital because, as you say, it just calmed us down a bit and just gave us that confidence that everything was going to be all right. And equally, I think Hearts were almost beaten the minute that first goal went in. And it was pretty fortuitous, wasn't it? It wasn't as if we cut them open with brilliant play. We did have that Kyogo chance at the start of the second half where he should have scored. But he got his chance.
I was sleeping, mate. Didn't see it.
Probably only a few minutes later, he then got the chance. It kind of ricocheted to him in a weird way. I wondered if he was offside at first, but the replay showed that there was a defender clearly keeping him on, and he finished it well eventually, didn't he? So that just gave us belief. I don't know, see, domestically at the moment, even when we're playing like that in the first half, I didn't ever feel massively concerned. I just knew that we'd step it up in the second half and probably win the game. It's a really good place to be that you've just got so much belief in this Celtic team. I was the same against Kilmarnock, so I don't know if it's just a case of maybe I'm living out here and just completely detached from reality. Do you feel similar in these games?
Yep, it's not just you. It's turning into the way I felt at times. Seems you've known me, sadly for you, an awful long time, and you knew me when Brendan Rodgers in his first stage at Celtic manager, when I used to say every week in the chat, 4 or 5-0 a day, and it's getting into that stage again. And just back then, what annoyed me about it was the fact that we were, so bullish, so dominant in the league. But in Europe, we were just horsed time after time. The big difference now is that we're doing this to teams domestically, but we're backing it up in Europe. We're getting those results away. We're doing what we did to Leipzig. And, we're getting into these games against Bruges fully expecting to put on a show, and we'll not get beat anyway and not get battered and embarrassed. So that's the key thing for me. There's the differences with Brendan Rodgers' reigns and his first and his second, that was what I was so annoyed at. It felt like a formality domestically, but you were going to just get embarrassed in Europe, and it's not like that now. So they are taking these performances, they're taking this belief, and they're taking this confidence into games in Europe, and that's exactly what I want to see. So I will not complain about it. But to answer your question, no, I'm totally with you. Never felt against Kilmarnock, for example, that although Kilmarnock had their chances, I often felt it felt, know what it felt like today? I was actually talking to Rizzo, who's been on here a couple of times, and Rizzo made a great point. It almost felt at times in the first half we were waiting on Hearts to score or do something to wake us up. That's what it felt like
Yeah,
to me.
I know.
And then,
Yeah.
you know, and then when that happens, you fully expect Celtic to get a grip and go, hold on a minute here. So that's what I was expecting there. But no, I'm the same as you. When we're getting into these games, Pittodrie in a couple of weeks, I'll be fully expecting Celtic to go there and win comfortably. And I mean that sincerely. People might say that's down to arrogance, which is understandable, but I'm defending it and saying it's total confidence in the way the Celtic team are playing. Because when you see the performances they're putting in, why would you not be confident? Why would you not be encouraged for wherever they go? Whether that be Pittodrie, whether that be Ibrox, whether that even, as I say, be going into the game against Zagreb next month. Like, I'm not putting anything by this Celtic team now, Hamish, and that's a testament to where Brendan Rodgers has got us when you look back to this time last year when we were actually doubting getting into home games against it. It's nearly a year since that game against Motherwell. Remember, they won each game? And we made that laborious slog, games at home against domestic sides. So it's a testament to where the team are now to where they used to be, Hamish.
There's just so much firepower in the team. I mean, we scored 4 goals in the second half at Tynecastle. I don't think I can ever remember us scoring 4 goals and a half at Tynecastle. Maybe that Scottish Cup tie all those years ago, I think there was 7-0. We maybe did at that time, but hell of an achievement. And like the subs are making such a difference. I need to think back to that Invincible season, but if you're doing comparisons, I feel like it's maybe more of a squad game now. I feel like back then we had a really good first 11 and some subs who would come on, but at the moment it just feels like you've got like a core of like 16, 17 players who are all contributing. I mean, Luke McCowan didn't even get on the pitch tonight. I just thought the way the subs came on, and Ida comes on and scores 2 goals, and James Forrest looked great, and Bernardo was doing it, and Ralston came on, and like it's such a team game at the moment, and we're scoring so many late goals as well. Right, specifics. So first goal, good finish from Kyogo. Second goal, unbelievable finish from Kuhn. You're comparing it to a certain goal. Okay, before you tell them, can people maybe think what goal you're going to say? Do you want to tell them the game?
Yes, the game was Pittodrie, 2018, a week before we went to Ibrox. The game that we won. No, a couple of weeks before we went to Ibrox, in the game that we won, it eventually got them chucking the toys out the pram and never letting us back into the Brimley stand. So yeah, think back to that game at Pittodrie in 2018.
Kieran Tierney.
Yes, that's the one.
Similarities.
Yeah, because you remember, I think the only, wasn't a quite 1-2 that Tierney played, but Dembele had magnificent hold-up play, and then he carried the ball, laid it off to Tierney, and his finish he took a touch and then rattled it first time, I think, past Lewis and goal, sure. But that was the first thing when I saw Kuhn hit that into the net and then the near post past Gordon. That was like KT at Pittodrie, just right in my mind there. So one for me there for people that say that my life just revolves around Celtic. There's no escaping it there. But no, what again, amazing goal. And we said last week we're running out of superlatives with Nicholas Kuhn. I don't know what else I can really say on it. I even said in the chat that it feels at this point that he's a ready-made German international, and it's all right for people to say, "God, no, he's doing it against Hearts, he's doing it domestically," but look at what he was doing against Leipzig in Europe, and there's no doubt that he's going to be probably our main man when it comes to the game on Wednesday in the Champions League. He's just that important for us, and the more that he is doing this, and his consistency is remarkable, which is amazing considering the one thing that's levelled at a winger is 1 week they're brilliant, the next week they're terrible. Like every game practically this season, he's been our main man, and the more that he's playing for us and doing all this, the more that I do worry about all these teams looking at him. And it's not like me and you, Hamish, are like putting them in the shop window and going, look at let's how much money can we possibly get from him. Like, I want to enjoy him and see more of him and what he can do at Celtic for years to come. But it's inevitable that while he's doing this, and he's doing it in Europe, other teams are sadly going to be looking at him. I dearly do hope that Celtic are very strong with teams coming in for him, and they will come in for him in January. But I think I'm encouraged that the Celtic will actually say no and deny the bids, because we don't need the money for a start, and we're we're going places as a team now, and Nicholas Kuhn is so important to that. Like, he's so paramount to what we're doing and what we're trying to build here. So, yeah, as long as we do keep a hold of him, really, I'm confident that we can continue to build and play the way we're playing, because he's so vital to how we are. Not just with the finishing, Hamish, but even in the first half when we were, I don't want to say under the cosh, but when Hearts were, pen rice at times in the first half, I thought was Hearts' best player. I thought Nicholas Kuhn really nullified him. He got beat a couple of times, and that's to be expected. But I think Nicholas Kuhn, what he was doing defensively to help out Adri, can be overlooked. I thought he was excellent for that too, and he's been doing that an awful lot this season. He deserves so much credit, and once again, fat loudmouths like myself who doubted him at times last season, goes to show that I do not know what football is, Hamish. I should be seen and not heard.
I'm not going to disagree with that at all, but on Nicholas Kuhn, I really liked his performance, because I think that's a couple of games in a row now, Hearts, and then the last game just before the break away to Kilmarnock, and he's maybe not been quite as effective going forward as he had been in previous games. Tough away from home games, performances maybe at times haven't been at the highest level as a team, but he still scored in both games, and like that's what he needed to add to his game. And I think 5 goals in the league now, he's like the joint top scorer. I think he's got maybe another 5 in other competitions. So he's really added goals to his game, and that finish is what I want from Nicholas Kuhn. Like, because I felt my one criticism of him earlier on in the season was that when he got into areas he wasn't decisive. The amount of times he would like have a chance to get a shot away and he'd try and beat another player, or the shot would get blocked. That's what he needs to add to his game, and he did it. The Kilmarnock goal was like that. And the goal today was even more so. It was like a terrific finish, because I actually didn't think he was going to score that. Like, for some reason I thought maybe if he'd been on the other side, he quite likes that into out type side foot into the corner from the right hand side. But the fact he was on the left and he just smashed it, and Craig Gordon had no chance. So no, just more goals from Nicholas Kuhn. Every game now we play, he's either scoring or assisting or doing both. He's been a hell of a player. I mean, it's very early in the season, but at this stage you'd already say he's kind of nailed on for Player of the Year, unless something catastrophic was to happen, and I certainly don't see that happening. Adam Idah comes on, couple of goals. First one, Bernardo set him up. We've seen that before, haven't we?
We have. I don't want to talk about Idah, mate. I think I'm still in a huff. It ruined my prediction. I had 3-1, and I'm that petty that I'm going to go in a bad mood over it, but no, I know. I'll put that aside.
He also helped your prediction as well, didn't he? Because if he hadn't have been there at all, it would have been 2-1.
Fuck, shut up.
Good comeback.
I know. No, yeah, I think we have seen that before. I think I've got it wrong. Bernardo to Idah, I think that's maybe the 4 assists now. I'm sure 3 or 4 anyway, but the 2 of them have built up a wee understanding. But I think more key to that, Bernardo's now one of these players that when he comes on, he's going to change a game and he's going to influence it. And arguably, he influenced the game more than what Engels did for us. And again, I think we'll have to maybe talk about Engels. That I was expecting Engels to dominate these type of games, and I know he was away by Belgium, so I'm not being harsh, because I'm a fan. I really do like him. But I can also understand some of the criticism. There was a moment today, right, 32 minutes or so, when it was a 50-50, and Engels really backed out it, and it was ball was there to be won, and I know he's up against cloggers, but the ball was there to be won, and it was the way that he backed out it, and I hated seeing it. But when Bernardo comes on the games now, a bit like Idah, you are going to get something from them, the pair of them, and Idah seems to be a specialist coming off the bench, which is no bad thing. But Bernardo especially, maybe sometimes doesn't get the credit either, but I just feel that the presence he has in midfield can't be overlooked either. Anytime he comes on, you always feel as if you're getting a real... he's always like a 7 out of 10, but he's going to get better and better, and I just feel like a game like that there, when he came on, like, it would have been so easy for most players to like go missing and not make an impact, because the game was practically won, but Bernardo came on and actually added more. And now again, it's got you thinking, what is Brendan going to be doing for Wednesday after such an impressive sort of 20 minutes or so? I'd imagine he'll still...
team might start on Wednesday. That's what I would say.
But it's hard to tell. I think he's still got a lot of faith in Engels. I think I wouldn't be shocked to see Engels, Hatate, and Callum McGregor there. But I don't think Bernardo's done his chances any harm there with that. But anyway, anytime him and Ida are coming on, you feel as if you are going to get something up against tiring legs. And yeah, they didn't disappoint again, despite the wee mood I went in. I'm grateful for a comfortable scoreline in the end.
Took the penalty really well, actually, especially when he'd missed there last season. Obviously, less pressure on this one late on in the game, but really, really good penalty.
I forgot
he is
about
good
that.
at penalties.
I forgot about that miss. Very good point.
Yeah, Xander Clark it was. And yeah, I was glad we got that late goal, because I think, to be honest, we deserved it for our second half performance, getting all those goals. Really ruthless when we got our opportunities. I thought Austin Trusty was really good. I think he's really grown into a player, and I like him alongside Cameron Carter-Vickers. So I thought that was a positive, and clearly that's going to continue going forward on Wednesday night. We had that linesman patter late on in the game that I was just laughing at, because it was just so Scottish football, wasn't it? When the linesman came out, and then the commentary were going, here he is, and then he turned around because he'd clearly forgotten something and went away back into the dressing room, and I was just like, oh my God, this is just Scottish football to a T.
So destroying. People say, oh, that's what makes the league so unique and special, but it was tedious. It really was. Like 4 minutes for that, and people will turn around maybe saying, where's your sense of humour? We all know I do have one, Hamish, but at that point in the game, it was just there's no need there's no need for a delay there, you know what I mean? It was genuinely pathetic, but I know that we're not here to moan about that very trivial moment. By the way, can I just also say 75 minutes, James Forrest came on, and the work rate for him to stop a cross coming in, exceptional. Just off there, also we had the news when he got his 1 year contract this morning, wasn't it? And
oh yeah, forgot all about that. Yeah,
call yourself a podcast host, mate. But yeah, I mean that moment the day with James Forrest when he tracked back like to stop a cross coming in, we're already 3-1 up at the time, no 3-0 up at the time, and he stopped that coming in. Generally, get up.
That's what I mean. It's subs coming on. Have got the right attitude. There's no moaning from these players if they're not playing. Obviously, James Forrest wants to be starting games. Paulo Bernardo, Adam Ida, all of these guys, Luke McCowan, they want to be starting games. But see, when they come on, their attitude is spot on, all of them. It's such a team effort at the moment. Sorry, a squad effort at the moment. It's one thing Brendan Rodgers saying, we'll need to rely on the squad, but I genuinely believe him. I genuinely believe that it's a squad effort at the moment rather than just, a first team.
Yeah, that is. I think there's a real hunger in the team. That's what you're seeing now. There's a real hunger, and every player wants to play their part, and none something, no player sums it up for me more than Luke McGowan, who didn't come on, but you saw it full time, even not coming on, so buzzing and delighted by the players. I mean, Kuhn was coming off, he looked so happy for him, and it's all right to say he's a great guy. I know that you're genuinely trying to be patronising on it, great guy to have around the club, but see when he comes on, he adds a lot as well as a player, so it's like, yeah, it's a real hunger, real desire among the players, and I think just morale and the general atmosphere around the squad is really high and positive now, because you think back to last season when things weren't, we're still top of the league, but things just weren't right at the club. You know what I mean? You had all that, the problem with the Green Brigade when the fans were locked out of the stadium around about this time, and it was a couple of weeks away from Santa get booed, of course, and there were players on the side that were starting games realistically shouldn't have been anywhere near the squad, and now we've got rid of those players. The fans are back in, and for the most part, there's no lot of disharmony at the club, and more importantly, what we're seeing in Europe is that we're actually getting there. We're building towards something, and we're getting into a game again in Europe with a lot of momentum. So, things are all really good now. I'm so buzzing for Wednesday. Can't wait for it.
Amazing. It's going to be amazing, isn't it? Yeah, you say we're going to miss some momentum. I don't know if you saw the Club Brugge score earlier, but they were playing the might of St. Truden, and they won 7-0. So fella Solis scored 4. They also had Onyedika, Jashari and Van Aken scoring. So they're clearly going to be very confident. I don't know much about Belgian football. I don't know St Truden, what they would be, their equivalent would be in Scottish football. But we know ourselves. I mean, if we were beating anyone 7-0 at home, you'd be feeling extremely good about going away to a European game. So I think that's going to be... It's going to be a really, really tough game on Wednesday, and I think to be honest, as a support, we know that. I don't think anyone's turning up and thinking Celtic are going to win comfortably or anything. I think everyone knows Club Bruges are probably every bit as good as us, but I think it's a game we can win.
Yeah, winnable game. They'll see it the same way, but I think that the key to these games at Celtic Park, and one of the things I've always said consistently is making Celtic Park a really difficult place for opposition teams to come, and we have to keep at it there. And a lot of that is, I think, down to not being complacent and respecting teams, but also playing their strengths. We've done it against Slovan Bratislava, we've done it against Leipzig, and we play the right way and we prepare the right way. Getting into that game Wednesday, there's no reason why we can't get a 3 points, or even a draw. Just avoiding defeat is key. A lot of people will say, "Oh no, you want the 3 points here," and I agree with that. But it's not just as easy as getting into these games against a difficult opponent. Just because we're at home going, we should get the 3 points here. I mean, we've seen it before. That game, Anderlecht, wasn't it? Back in 2017, for example,
home one.
Anderlecht, home one. I mean, Anderlecht had nothing to play for. We'd effectively tied up third. And then what happened? Anderlecht pretty bodied us. It was 1-0 going on like 3 or 4. So, again, the key thing is, don't think anyone around the club is going to be complacent about it. Manager and players certainly not, and the fans won't be either. Because when we get into it, I haven't heard anyone in my friend circle basically say, this should be an easy 3 points just because we beat Leipzig and we got them at a time where things didn't go well for them. So the luck can change on it. I mean, what it takes is a wee break, a set piece, absolutely anything, for them to get their noses in front and then make it difficult for us. I think they might be a wee bit more resilient than Leipzig, but I guess we'll see. But
yeah,
again, it's all about what we do as well, Hamish.
Can't wait for it. Some other interesting scores today, wasn't it? It was quite the Saturday. So you had our title rivals losing. Aberdeen lost to St Mirren, which was, I don't know, I wasn't massively surprised. I think Aberdeen are going to drop off a bit, and St Mirren's a pretty tough game. We also had Rangers losing further ground. They drew at home to Dundee United, so their problems continue and worsen. So a pretty good Saturday all in. Also had Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham Hotspur beating Man City 4-0, which was a hell of a result. So did you enjoy your Saturday of entertainment?
I'm going to have to watch Sports Scene and the Humble Match of the Day, Hamish, because I didn't see any of them. Usually a Saturday, and you might have heard the weather here was a disgrace. Storm Bartholomew, or was it Bert? I don't know, can't remember. Storm Bert. I think it was Bert, wasn't it? So
Bert Simpson.
He stormed in, shall we say, and it caused chaos. But I ended up actually going out earlier on in the day, so I missed all the results. Usually I love sitting in watching the games that are on a Saturday, and the 3 o'clock #5s, and then this one. It would have been a great day in front of the Idiot box, but I'll have to tune in on legal means. But no, it was the results went away. Really, really good Saturday, Hamish.
Yeah, we're looking very good in the league. I mean, you'll know that by now. So we're 3 points now ahead of Aberdeen, and we are 11 ahead of Rangers after 12 matches. So things are very good, and now we move on to the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday night. Stevie, thank you.
Hamish, you're welcome.
Everyone, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it once again. And let me know what you thought of the game. I'll go through some comments and properly switch the focus to Club Bruges.